Spider 20 is one of the bigger headaches in this game for a lot of players. Today begins what I guess I'll call a series of videos where I'm going to try to alleviate that headache for you a little bit, show you some more things that are possible outside of being able to max HP nuke your way through it, or for those of you that don't have Miscreated Monster. Now, I probably will do some things with Miscreated Monster too, but the goal here is to build some spider comps that are kind of off the beaten path, get some of the usual suspects out of the lineup, show you that more champs are capable of coming in here and showing off a little bit. And as I'm sure you saw by the title and thumbnail, the star of the episode today is Drokgul. I'm having a really good time taking this champ around the game and making him useful everywhere. Because, I don't know, something about all the hate he got when he first came out. I've just been against it from day one. I think he's a fantastic champ, and again, he's kind of the MVP of the spider run today. So we're going to take a look at the run real quick. I'm going to talk a little bit about what's going on in the run. Then we'll pop over after the run. I'll show you how all the champs are set up. I promise you, you can do a better version of this team than what you're going to see in this run and how mine are built. It's really not that crazy. I'm certain that if you're at Spider 20 trying to build a team for it, you can build this team better than I have it built here, okay? So let's hop over and take a look at the run, then we'll take a look at the champs. So we've got Kantra with the accuracy lead, we've got Syl, we've got Drokgul, we've got Ultimate Gallic, and we have Drokgul, who, if you haven't figured out by now, I am a huge fan of. I really, really am liking this champ. The more things I'm trying with him, the more I'm liking him. And we've got him in here to fill monster shoes, right? A lot of you don't have Miscreated Monster, and you don't have the max HP nukes to come in here and just nuke your way through Spider. Drokgul can step into monster shoes fairly well, and when you pair him with Ultimate Gallic, since he also does attack and defense buff, he sets Gallic up to do the HP burns, right? So he's doing a lot here, and I want you to keep an eye on Kantra throughout this run. She has no resistance, so even though Drokgul's putting up the decreased accuracy debuff on the enemies, she's got no resistance. So I would recommend when you build her with a little more resistance in mind than I have when I show you the build. But I want you to watch this right here. Watch how low her HP is and watch what Drok does. Watch what Drok brings to this on top of the buffs and just the general sustainability. Her health is low. She's in bad shape. She's got a lot of poison stacked on her. He puts a shield up on her one of these days when he gets his turn. It's coming, I promise. See, her health is very low, right? Shield should be coming now. And now she's going to take some hits. Watch her HP. Bam. She's basically healed back up, right? That's very important to consider when she's off affinity, she's got no resistance, and she's not really that tanky. You'll see, I mean, obviously you see she's taking chunks from her HP when she gets hit. But this is what Drok is bringing to the fight, okay? He, again, if you don't have a monster, he steps into this role fairly nicely. And while his shield doesn't touch monster shield, he's bringing other things with him that make this comp pretty doable. And, you know, if you don't have a monster, it's not unlikely that you have all these other champs, right? You should have participated in the Drok fusion. I was very adamant about that. Syl is a login reward. Kantra was a fusion a while back, so it's not unlikely that a lot of you have her. Again, I don't think she has to be here. She's here because I was doing some other things earlier, and I just kind of left her in. But the accuracy lead is nice. She is a nice spider tank. She does bring some nice debuffs. She's certainly useful, but I don't think she has to be in that spot. So basically what we're doing is we're just keeping, we don't have a lot of AoE damage on the team, so we're not killing the spiderlings very often. We're just kind of keeping them alive. We're trying to control them with a lot of stun sets, as you'll see when we go in and go over the gear, so that Ultimate Gallic's HP burn can take the spider down. The idea of the AoE HP burn is not a new concept, right? But I have not seen anyone anyway bring Drokgul in here and try to do this with him instead of monster. And there you go, run over 2 minutes and 45 seconds. We're gonna go look at the gear now. I promise you're gonna be able to build a better version of this team than I'm about to show you. I feel confident that it's gonna be a pretty reliable team. Like I said, especially when you guys build it better than the way that these champs are built. So let's go ahead and hop over and take a look at the champs. We're going to take a look at Drok first because he's by far the best built on the team. So I want to go ahead and address that he does have some 6-star gear. He does have some legendary gear. It is still not a crazy build. And when you see what the rest of the team looks like, it should lay to rest any issues that you have with how well he's built here, okay? 2 immortal sets and a speed set is not really that crazy. It is not even optimal. He's got an accuracy banner that he does not need. You can put an HP banner on him to help shoot that HP up a bit. Again, this is not insane. You can get gear like this from if you're doing decently on Clan Boss. If you're trying to build a Spider 20 team, you're probably doing a high enough level in Clan Boss that there's potential for you to see some gear like this. And the speed gear, there's nothing crazy going on here, but he is the best built, so I want to address it. Now, you do want to shoot his HP up as high as you can get it because of the shield, right? Shield. Having a hard time talking today. Obviously, it's not going to touch Monster's shield. Monster basically turns your whole health bar gray in Spider, okay? So it's not going to look like that, but it's good enough. Clearly, it's a good enough shield, and the mechanics of it come in very handy. As you saw with Cantra, when her HP was real low, he put the shield up on her. It got broken. She basically healed back up to full health. Again, you also put some resistance on her. We'll talk about her in a second, but this is very handy. And then him doing this every 3 turns. Now, I did put some books at him. I got very lucky. None of the books went to the A1. If you can get the A2 and A3 booked up, that's nice. And I booked him on the free-to-play account as well. I got lucky there as well and had my first 2 books go into the A2. And I'll eventually try to book his A3. If I haven't made a case for this dude being worth investing in by now, it's just never going to happen. So if you don't want to book him, don't book him. But I'm telling you, he's worth it. The buffs he's putting up, the shield he's putting up, very handy. So you do want to get the HP up. You do want him to be fast. He, at the very least, needs to be faster than Gallic, right? Because Gallic's going to put up HP burns if he's got an attack buff up, and Drokgul will put that up on him, okay? So he needs to be faster than Ultimate Gallic, and his HP up as high as you can get it. Beyond that, it's good. If you want to take a peek at his masteries, I've talked about him in other videos, but this is what his masteries look like. I've taken him everywhere that I've taken him with masteries that look like this, and it's been great. So if you want to follow those, go for it. Again, HP and speed, shoot him up. Now we'll just go at the beginning and move our way through. Some important things to note about Cantra here. One, she's not built for this. As far as the gear that I have on her, right? I have not optimized her to be in the role that she's in. She's still doing it well. Now, we did go stun gear. If you got stun sets, if you got them, you want them on the AoE champs here to further reinforce the crowd control. I personally believe that if you have Syl and you've got one of these AoE champs in a stun set, that'll be sufficient. I put stun sets on everybody. If you got them, use them. I think you really only need them on one more champ with AoE to be relatively safe here. Now, she does not have books. She does not have masteries. She is not optimized for this. I would recommend that you put more resistance on her. If you're going to go accuracy banner, go resistance set. If you're going to go resistance banner, go accuracy set. Try to get accuracy and resistance up there. You do want her landing her debuffs, and if she's got resistance, it doesn't have to be super high because we've got Drokgul, and we're going to talk about him as well, but having her resist those poisons from the spiderlings is going to be huge. Now, she's also defense heavy. She's the only off affinity champ in this team, so they're probably going to be going after her anyway. Again, more HP would be better, but this gives Drok an opportunity to heal her up pretty heavily with the shield setup, and Syl heals every turn as well. And she's also not optimized for this, but stun set, shoot her accuracy and resistance up, get some speed on her, you're in good shape. Again, no masteries, no books on her. I was doing other things, that's why she was in the role, and I just kind of left her in as I was swapping some things out and stumbled upon this team. So there are other options. We'll talk about them in other videos. As I said, I'm going to do several of these, but for this team, she's there. She's in the lead for the accuracy. Syl, we've got on a reflex set. Now, she is booked, but she does not have masteries. So again, she gets way better with masteries as well. I put reflex set on her because, again, was doing other things with her in the past. I thought reflex might be fun to help her cycle through her cooldowns a little bit. I did use her in my Barb 21 Faction Wars team. They coasted through 21 fairly easily, and this is how she was built for it. So again, she does have books. She's got a slow on the A1. She's got AoE with stun. That's why I say if you can get stun on one more AoE champ, you'll probably have pretty reliable crowd controls. They'll sneak through every now and then, but you can see the team is kind of designed to be able to take a little bit of punishment. or support Cantrell while she takes the punishment. But some crowd control built in there, and then the revive. So the revive's on 4 turns, and the stun is on 3 turns. Reflex hit helps her cycle through those a little bit faster. And then, of course, she heals every turn. Now, we've got defense on her, and that's just how it is. More HP means more heals, means more support for the rest of the team. You can shoot her HP up, right? Shoot her HP up, shoot her speed up. Definitely want to get the accuracy on her for the stuns. Nothing outrageous here, again, okay? And no masteries. She's got no masteries. That's important to remember. Ultimate Gallic, we've got stun accuracy. Again, nothing crazy. The accuracy seems really high, but that's because this is what I did with his masteries. This is probably not even the optimal build. I just kind of threw some stuff on. I want him to extend. I want him to have a better chance to land. I wanted a little bump from the accuracy set. And then we just threw this on again because why not, right? He does have books, and he's got a stun set. Some of it's 6-star, but we've got helmet level 8, amulet level 8, ring level 8, 5-star speed boots. Nothing's crazy, right? You just got to break that. To be comfortable, I would say break that 250 accuracy threshold and then get his speed up. Not faster than Drok, but get his speed up. And if you can get a stun set on him, great, right? Basically, he's here. Crit is not bad on him. I think I do have crit gloves on him. Crit's not bad. If he crits on the A1, he gives himself a little turn meter. He gives himself a little anyway, even if he doesn't crit. But if he does, he gives himself a little more turn meter. And then if he crits here, he reduces the turn meter of the enemy and attack buffs himself, which is handy. He doesn't need to attack buff himself because we have Drok here doing it for him. But the turn meter knockback is nice. The more turn meter knockback you can have in the spider, you all know this, the fewer turns she gets, the better, because she gets around to absorbing her spiderlings less often, which means less heals, which means a faster, more reliable run. So it's nice if you can get the crit on him. If you can't, I don't think it's detrimental to the run. But there you have it. And then Drokgul, we also have on a stun set. Again, level 8, level 8, level 8. Nothing here is too wild. We also did not complete his masteries. We just threw some stuff on him. Again, we want him to extend. We want him to have a better chance to land and a little bit of a bump for the perception set that we have on him. But again, just defense. Not a lot of HP here. Get his speed up, get his accuracy up, and you know, he'll do work. He does some good work here too. Everything he does is meaningful. He's got this defense break on the A3, and I know it says 40% chance, but it's a 3-hitter. I don't see him miss it very often. He's been putting it. I've been running this team for a while, and initially I set out today to build some teams with this guy in mind, and have kind of worked my way into the Drokgul thing, and here's where we are now. But there's a lot of other teams that I'm going to go over in videos to come. Here we've got the AoE decrease accuracy, which, again, you put some resistance on Cantrell. This will be huge. If she can start resisting those poisons, it's just going to further solidify how reliable the run is. And I've run it for a while today just to kind of test it out. They haven't failed yet, and it is not well built. Again, I emphasize this is not a well-built team. And then the decreased speed on the A1, so if Sill's not keeping it up, he'll throw one up while we wait on her to put up the better one, right? And that's it. That's what we're looking at here. And if you're at Spider 20, I feel like it's almost a guarantee you can do a better version of this team. It's really not crazy. The craziest part of it is him, and he's not that insane, right? He's not really built that crazy. So I've been doing some stuff with Skarg. I have done a couple with Verg in the mix. What I can't decide is if he's being carried or if he's actually contributing. So I'm working on some things where he's actually contributing to the success of the spider run. But I would love to get some runs going with him in the mix. So we're working on that, but we've got some fun stuff going with Skarg. I probably will do some things with Monster at some point, but the point is to show you some teams that are not just all the usual suspects, right? Not all the same faces that you're seeing that you probably don't have, that you're frustrated about not having, and you feel locked out of this dungeon. The goal with these videos that I'm going to be doing over the next few days is to give you some alternatives to some things that you may have in your champ box in lieu of the monsters and the royal guards and all that type of stuff. So I hope that this was helpful. If you have any questions, drop them below. I'll do my best to answer all the questions that we get. If you've got some tips that you want to drop for Spider 20, maybe some things that are not super common knowledge, that'll be great. More information is always better. I hope that you got something out of this. I hope you get something out of the videos that I'll be doing over the next few days. If you haven't already, subscribe. We hit 10K recently, which is super dope. I may have mentioned it already in a video, but I'm mentioning it again because I'm stoked about it. I think it's really cool that we hit it. So thank you guys for watching, for subbing, for all that stuff. I appreciate you, and I'll see you